And welcome back, my fellow fiends, to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Contrary to what I said at the end of the last video, we are not going to leave the Labyrinth of Amala just yet, because I realized that I was just being dumb, and the Awakening Bell conversation overwrote the normal thing you're supposed to see here, which is if you turn down the invitation to go further into the Labyrinth of Amala, you can just come back to the peephole, peep in again, and let them know that you want to go deeper. Absolutely. Alright, cool. Works for me. Now, we are not going to be doing much of anything in the 5th Kalpa, really. Most of the stuff that is there, I would rather do that in prep for the final dungeon, and honestly, we can consider anything that happens at the end of it to be declared non-canon. For the purpose of the main Let's Play. We will, of course, be seeing how deep this rabbit hole goes once we beat the main game, and I've got my personal file all ready and done with that. But for right now, we've got one last Amala tunnel sequence. Additionally, I would just like to remark that, contrary to what I thought, it is actually 15 strength that you need to break through the big orbs. So yeah, another thing that I was incorrect on. Yeah, I'm sure you've become accustomed to that at this point. Okay. Just follow this trail. Oh, ow. Losing a lot of my... Yes, there we go. I missed one. And there we go. Yeah, not exactly the cleanest run. If I could have kept up the chain there, I think you could have actually gotten some decent money out of that one, but that really does not matter too much. Now, as I've been saying so much, the final candelabrum is, of course, our candelabrum of sovereignty. We have truly expressed sovereignty in this situation, so let's drop that off here. And there we go, lighting the candelabrum, never to flicker in our possession again. Not like there was anyone for it to flicker to. Now, like I said, we're not going to be actually doing anything in here, but there is something that happens as soon as you enter the 5th Kalpa, and I feel like it's worth it for the purposes of this Let's Play to do it right now, so let's get in. As soon as I can get past the podium. So, heading through the door, of course we finally got our shortcut back to the lobby. Don't have to take any more trips to the 4th Kalpa that I don't want to anymore. Now, as soon as you step through this door... looks like somebody's waiting for us. You know, I never really thought about this, but how exactly does Dante get ahead of us? Maybe Lucifer gave him a key through the back door. It makes even less sense in the versions of the game that replaced Dante with Rido. But it looks like Dante is offering his services to us. Now, you can turn him down, and there are actually some downsides to recruiting Dante. Dante will permanently take up a slot in your party, and you can't get rid of him, and he cannot be boosted via Mutama Fusion or anything else. So what he has is what he has. But he's still a decent character, and for this Let's Play, and even in general, I don't really feel like it's too much of a drawback. And although he's not actually a demon you can pull from the compendium, he does have a percentage of the compendium dedicated to him, so you do need to recruit him at some point, so let's hire him. If you turn him down, I believe he just stands off to the side, and then you can recruit him at a later point. Alright. So you want to play a game for it, huh? Okay, so if we get heads, 1 Maka, half of what we got. We actually don't have too much at the moment since I spent most of it on Sophia, but if I hadn't, that would be a pretty hefty sum there. Alright, so, now, if you have played Devil May Cry 2, which I'm sure everybody watching this has, you would know that Dante actually has a trick coin that has 2 heads rather than heads and tails. You would remember that from the ending of Devil May Cry 2, assuming that you hadn't blocked that game out of your memory because you hated it, which admittedly is also a very real possibility, but we're gonna call heads and spend the 1 Maka, and Dante has no problem rigging coin tosses against himself, so... Alright, sweet. And going forward, we have Dante in our party. Dante, the Demon Killer. Got a nice ring to it, don't you think? I forget if he said Demon Killer or Demon Hunter. I have only seen very little of the DMC Devil May Cry reboot. Funnily enough, despite what Dante says here, if you actually do go and visit Lucifer, you kind of go completely counter to what he actually wanted to accomplish. But that's kind of irrelevant. And unfortunately, Dante does not really say anything else past this game. There isn't even any, like, special amendment to the ending if you get him. But here he is. As you can see, he is pretty solid. He nullifies instant death and ailments, much like the Fiends, and he is resistant to literally everything. So he is pretty good as far as defenses go. Doesn't really nullify things to the advantage to your benefit when it comes to press turn, but it's not that bad. And he has a bunch of unique skills that some are completely unique to him, some are just functionally equivalent to other ones. Ebony and Ivory, very cheap multi-hit physical attack, not too bad. Rebellion is a high critical physical attack. Round Trip and Whirlwind are multi-targeting elemental attacks, much like the Ma-Dine spells. Of course, Round Trip is Elec, since it is an attack given to him by Alistair, the Electric Blade. Whirlwind is one that's just made up for this game, it is Force. Holy Star, which is just Dekunda. Provoke, which this is probably one of his most interesting skills. It is functionally similar to Taunt, lowering defense by 2 stages while raising attack by 2 stages, but it also recovers a huge amount of Dante's MP, so whenever he's getting low, he can just provoke and get almost all his MP. Well, actually, he can just get all his MP back. Never Yield, which is just a different name for Endure, and Intimidate is a useless negotiation skill that I don't care about, so that's probably going to be the first thing to go. Let's see. Don't need Daisojo in the party at the moment, so let's bring Dante in. Now, like I said, we're not actually going to go do anything here. Oh, also, Dante is level 80, so he's quite ahead of the game at this point. But before we actually finally get on with the Yurakucho tunnels after like 3 videos of not doing that, there is another side quest to take care of, so I will meet you there. Alright, so here we are at the exit to Asakusa leading to Yoyogi Park to go drop off the Kimon Stone at that shrine that we passed over previously. So we just head in the direction of it. As you can see, it is that glowing building over there, and we head on in. For the upcoming battle that we're going to be getting into, I've equipped Gehenna. I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't fully remember how this battle goes. I know fire is involved, but what exactly the pattern of the battle that we're about to get into, I haven't practiced this one in a while, not since I played the HD remaster, so this could be interesting. But hey, I've got Endure, so I got a mulligan to roll. Inside here, we run into Bishamon. What do you mean? As funny as it would be to say we're just average. And we can pass, but let's take on Bishamon's challenge. Alright, show us what you got, old man. And we get into a fight with Bishamon. Oof, okay, that's a... Whoa, okay. That's a problem and a half. Alright, so I have an idea for what we're going to do here. First, we want to provoke him. I'm actually going to swap out Red Rider with Daisojo. We definitely need some healing here. Yeah, this is not exactly a good situation. Let's Deikaja away that attack boost. And we'll just throw on a prayer there. Okay, that's a pretty nasty start right there. Is he going to do another Hasuhapa? Okay, there comes the Prominence. And there goes Daisojo. That is okay. We have backups in this situation. First off, let's Warcry him to get that offense down. We'll throw up a Rakukaja just to bring his damage down a little bit more. Maybe something like, I don't know, what was it? Kamudo would be better. Let me see here. Do I want to bring in Kushinada or... No. We do need healing. Unfortunately, Throne does not have, Media Rahan yet, so... Do I have Bombs of Life? No, it doesn't look like it, so we'll just have to go for a Revival Bead, but that's not a huge deal. He should be doing a lot less damage now, so I'm a little less worried about what he could possibly do. Oh, getting the double crits, though. Oh, dear. Well, this is going bad. Okay, we definitely want to get Daisocho in. Yeah, I'll want to hit him with another Warcry if I can find the turns for it. Okay, let me see. Let's start up Rakukaja. Okay, so this fight's a lot nastier than I remember it being. Those Hasohapas do not joke around. We haven't even really been able to put up the offensive yet, just because he's been, oh man, nailing us with nasty stuff. Okay, finally we're in a situation where we can actually put some work in. First, I just want to provoke him, then we'll Warcry him to get that offense back down. Let's see, let's pass for a second. I want to use Meditation to get some HP back. Do some decent damage there while we're at it. And let's see here. We will just use Rebellion for our damage. Hey, there we go. The coveted critical hit that I want. Alright, now that we've actually gotten set up, we should be in better standing. Oh dear, that could be nasty. Oh, yeesh. Okay, this is a bad situation to find myself in, but not an unwinnable one. So we'll just use a bead there and hit him with the focused punch. Luckily, I can just totally tank that. Alright, so this might actually just go better if we do it like so. I haven't bothered bringing my guys back in. Okay, we'll get another focus going. And we'll pass there. And let's, could be a little risky. Yeah, Deadly Fury is too risky. I don't want to put my HP really low. What is this? Is this a Expel type stack? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, so hit him with Rebellion. So this is going to be a fairly boring way to handle this fight, but a safe one. Luckily, Dante's crits are coming through for me, so I'm not too worried on that front. And hit him with another one. If we're lucky, we'll get another crit in there. Oh, no, we just killed him. Okay. Well, that went pretty terrible, but we won. Has Throne gotten a level up yet? I really want him to get Media Rahan. This is why you always practice fights before you just dive into them. And yes, he does have the level up. What do you got for me? Ooh, nice. Still have not gotten an incense from any demon yet, so that fight went terribly. Wonder who he's talking about. And for defeating him, we get the Magatama Gundari. Alright. But yes, this clues you in that there is a reward if you manage to collect every single Magatama in the game, and it is a pretty good one. Also, for defeating Bishamon at this point, you can actually fuse him. So let's take a look at the Magatama we just got, Gundari. This is the Force-focused Magatama. It teaches you Wind Cutter if you're still pursuing Force magic. That is not the most interesting thing about it, though. The most interesting thing about it is that it teaches you a unique and powerful single-target physical skill for the Demi-Fiend, that being Spiral Viper. It's one of his stronger physical skills, being an upgrade to Divine Shot, which I did not actually bother to learn. But that's all there is to really say about that. I really do need to equip something that will help out in the coming area. You know what, we'll just stick to Satan for the time being, yeah. Alright, now that that's all taken care of, I will recover my party, and I will meet you back at the Yurakucho Tunnel. See you there. Alright, here we are at Yurakucho Tunnel. First order of business is that we actually have to go back to the previous platform so that we can get some treasure I passed over. The party I'm going to be using for this upcoming dungeon is Dante, Wukong, and Throne. Wukong and Throne because I want them to stay competitive on level ups, and Dante because we went through the effort of recruiting him, darn it, so let's put him to work. Yeah, after all, he took a hefty 1 Maka from us. We can't just let that slide without him doing anything. Plus, you know, he doesn't have Watchful, so we do actually need him in the party to get him to level up and learn all his unique skills. Here we can run into more Ifrits, which is not really much to write home about. Let me just bolt storm these guys down. Let's see. And Hasahapa should finish them off. Alright, easy peasy. Yeah, Wukong is super good, especially you got Life Surge on him, powering Hasahapa. Just excellent stuff all around. Honestly, it probably would have been smarter to have him in the party with the Bishamon fight. That's probably what I did when I last played this game, because, you know, he would nullify the Hasahapa and just end his turn immediately, which would make it a lot safer. Anyways, we get a muscle drink down here. And over in closer to the back, we find a trap, of course. Of course, we find a bunch of Loas here. Not these guys are terribly threatening. I'm just gonna have Dante pass. Of course, if White Rider was in the party, he could God's Bow these guys, but he's taking 5 right now. So instead, we'll just use Hasahapa to roughly similar effect. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've actually shown off Deadly Fury on camera yet. Maybe I have. I didn't even pay attention to what treasure we got. Let me check my notes here. Magic Mirror. Okay, that's fine. And then one more treasure over here. Just a medicine. Yeah, nothing too special, but, you know, treasure is treasure. Always gotta collect it in these RPGs. I should remark at this moment that my demon stock is completely full, but there really isn't anything I want to get rid of at this point. Maybe in the future I'll want to do some sacrifices with stuff that just isn't being used anymore, but on the whole, I'm pretty much set going forward. Can't really think of much I want to do in the immediate future with my demon stock. Also, well, now that I'm thinking about it, while I'm close to level up, let's equip Gundari, just so we can start advancing his skills. Obviously, since I got rid of Force Boost, I'm not going to bother with Wind Cutter. It doesn't really do anything for me. But getting closer to Spiral Viper might come in handy. Not that I'll really need it much, given the rest of the game. Alright, so let me take a look here. This one's a bit interesting, so this tunnel revolves around these slides that take you deeper into the tunnels themselves, and at various points we can find treasure. Oh, Daikini is also here. I forget if we saw these in Amala Temple. I'm pretty sure we did, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to show them again if we did not. Nothing too much else to say about them. Yeah, I may as well just do a round trip. Now, at this point, round trip and whirlwind do not do that much damage, truth be told. They're not exactly that great. They become a little bit stronger after a certain point. Alright, so we're an expert now, and yeah, actually I can just focus on finishing off agility since I don't need any more strength. For the Amala tunnels, I mean. Okay, so yeah, we don't need Wind Cutter, we're just gonna pass on that. Get Force Drain as a passive skill, which would be pretty interesting. Ooh, what do we get here? Full recovery. I was kind of hoping for a party recovery there, but that's not a big deal. Alright, we'll re-equip Satan. Just to get the most out of Bolt Storm. Give it that little extra bit of magic. Let me see. Ooh, everything's wearing off on me. Let's get those back up. Now, at this point, I do want to remark, the way magic damage scales in this game is kind of weird. Much like physical attacks, it scales upward as you level, independent of your stats. Up until... It actually depends, depending on the skill, but up until about, like, level 60 or so, it'll go up, and then it actually starts to go down a little, though it's not a sharp decline, but at this point you might notice that magic just becomes ever so slightly weaker. Let me see here. Okay. Alright, we want to take the northern one. Oh, actually, new enemy here. A couple new enemies, I think. Kaiwan being demoted to a regular enemy, as he was destined to be. And Rakshasas. You aren't Rakshasa. Yeah, in this game, this demon is known as Rakshasa. Whenever you see this demon in the rest of the series, he's known as Vetala. And Rakshasa is, of course, the zombie swordsman who has twin blades. The Vetalas themselves, they are weak to, well, Rakshasas, they are weak to Elec, and I believe Expel magic. Kaiwan is pretty resistant to everything. I forget what he's weak to. Did I write that down? He's weak to Expel. So yeah, not really much we can do without White Rider against him, but he's perfectly vulnerable to physical attacks, so once we take down the Rakshasas, we can just dumpster him with slaps. Alright. I believe I passed a treasure earlier, but it's just some life stone, so it's not a huge deal. Alright, so sliding down here. Okay. And... yeah, just gotta go through this door. And we find a bead to replace one of the ones that I used in the previous boss fight. Alright, let me just check my notes again. We need to get down to B6 before we find any more treasure. So, let's head this way. Actually, I just went through a one-way door. Whoops, wasn't paying attention. That is okay, though. So this is the gimmick of this area, is that there are one-way doors that give you access to paths back in the dungeon. So you do have to make sure you take the correct routes forward. Yeah, so that initial slope that I came across, that's where it would drop us off. So yeah, I was being kind of dumb there. Yeah, I did not save any maps for all the areas. Usually I just got maps off the internet for the Labyrinth of Mala, just because those areas are pretty complicated and are pretty dependent on you bumbling around for a lot of their difficulty, and I wanted to cut out as much of that as possible. There needed to be at least one failure for this recording. Alright, this time we'll go the correct way. I was just kind of zoned out and wasn't thinking too carefully. Also, clearly that's still the case, because I just walked into the room that we already got the treasure from. Boy, I am off my game today. I was doing a little bit of exercise out in the sun, that's my excuse. My brain is literally fried at this moment. Okay, so, going forward... let me see, are we coming across the big puzzle for this area yet? Actually, you know what? Just so I have an opportunity to show it off, let's take a look at Deadly Fury here. Now, Deadly Fury, even though it looks like a weapon-based attack, I believe it takes your strength stat in consideration for the damage. So, even though it looks like any other weapon-based skill like Heat Wave or Chaos Blade, it is in fact a strength-based one. Kind of interesting, honestly. Let me see here. Just give ourselves a little bit of a top off. I could use Thrones Medea Rahan, but that is expensive. Alright, we got a small terminal here, so let's update our save file. Better safe than sorry, right? Believe me, if you've seen my Digital Devil Saga 2 Let's Play, you will know that there are times that I have been sorry. Ah, man, that game's even worse about, like, getting ambushed by stuff and them just dumping a load of physical attacks on you, even though you're, whether or not you, game over isn't contingent on a single character. Man, I was so mad when I got ambushed by, what was it, 3 Skatoks, and they just used Power Wave, they all used Power Wave on me. That was unbelievably annoying. And yes, this is the area that I'm thinking of. So, we're actually... just going to go straight forward here. And we're going to drop down in here. And this will take us into a bit of a, not exactly an interesting area, but an area that is important. So let me see if I can remember this right. Alright, so we got some treasure here. I'll figure out where exactly I am based on what treasure this is. Okay, this is the trap that I was looking for. This one contains some Loas and a Cerberus. Cerberus will be a normal enemy in the next area, as is usual for him. He is fire resistant. I believe he's also resistant to physical attacks, and he has Retaliate, so you want to be careful about that. Not terribly threatening enemy otherwise, and he is weak to ice, as you'd expect. Let's provoke them just to get a little bit of MP back for Dante, and to bolster the damage of Bolt Storm. This should, yeah, check that out. I don't really give it its due credit, but Taunt and Provoke are pretty good debuffs. They drastically increase the damage of the next character in line. It's just contingent on having someone that's fast enough to actually use it. The main reason that I didn't really use it with Matador is just because even though it's the cheapest of the tier 2 debuffs, it's still relatively costly to use, and I just felt that using standard attacks was more economical. Also, the specific treasure we got from defeating that trap was a Megiddo rock. So let's see, we got a Soma droplet and... yeah, nothing else, I think, in here, so we are free to go back up. Oh, wait. Okay, that door is one side. I believe that door that I walked by that I did not bother to check, that is also a one-way door. Okay, so let's get a Stoma going just to keep out the weak stuff, and throw on Light Toma once again. Now, hopefully... Oh, you know what? I'm just going to show this real quick. Cerberus can also be encountered here. I don't think I've ever run into him here. Interesting. Anyways... it's actually pretty nice to have somebody who can taunt to bolster the upcoming damage and not have it cost them anything and actually get MP back. Sadly, Provoke is not as nearly as good as the boss version that restores 750 MP. It only restores about 76. Alright, so... Okay, yeah, that's a dead end behind us, so we want to go forward to this door. And this should take us back up to B4. Actually, get taken down 2 floors by those slides. Alrighty. Okay, so this takes us back out where we were previously. Now, we're in sort of a huge roundabout here, and I believe the one that we want to take to get forward, or rather get a treasure that I want, is the northern slide. Now, all of these doors in this roundabout, they are one way, so you have to sneak through this area, going west to start, and then just wrap around to get to the northern slide. Hopefully I can get to it just as full Kagetsuchi is coming in, because it is a mystical chest that I want to grab. Alright, I should be able to reach it before it hits full Kagetsuchi. Okay, yes. Alright, let's just slide down this slide, all helter-skelter style. And there is a mystical chest in front of us. Now, all the other slides, they just lead to pits. We actually have to take the northern slide to get this mystical chest, which gives us a bead of life. Very nice. Now, to actually move forward, we want to go towards this western pit. And this will, if I remember correctly, yeah, drop us on the other side of the door that I passed up before. That's a one-way door. We want to just ignore it and go forward, and that will allow us to get further into the tunnels. And it's very unfortunate that the Kagetsuchi just began to wane because there is another mystical chest. So let me advance the Kagetsuchi until we can get this one. Alright, now that we're at full Kagetsuchi, we can grab this chest and get a pearl. Not really worth it, but, you know, completionism. There is, unfortunately, one more mystical chest in this area to grab. Not necessarily right here, but coming up soon, and the Kagetsuchi is almost certainly going to have, yeah, it's already waned to 7/8 at this point. Fortunately, we're pretty much done with this area. This is a very short area. I wish I had a better way to deal with Cerberuses. I probably do. I could probably bring in Red Rider and just use Wind Cutter on him after using a Provoke, but, you know, effort. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, that's not a smart idea, because this guy hits really hard after that. Oh well. It's not too big a deal. We've got plenty of healing. Healing for days, really. Honestly, Kushinada is probably a demon I can get rid of. We don't need her anymore. It's kind of funny how, like, as you get better at the game, you kind of just, like, completely neglect options you used to use enthusiastically because they helped you out a ton when you were starting out. I made heavy use of Kushinada in my previous 2 playthroughs just because she was an easy way to access... Oh yeah, one-way door, that would not be a good idea to go through. We want to take this door. And yes, there are a lot of one-way doors that you have to find how to get behind them. But yeah, I made heavy use of Kushinada in my test playthroughs, just because she was such an easy way to get access to Mei Diorama, and she was very helpful in that front. But I've just gotten better at, like, fusing better Daisojos who do good enough on healing, as well as just demons in general that allow me to win fights much more decisively. And I've, like, ironed out the Demi-Fiend's skill set a lot more, so I'm not as dependent on him for support. So it's been interesting to play this game a ton and just, like, refine my play for it. And we are back onto the train tracks, and actually, oh, for some reason in that area there were no enemies. Hey, we got a Queen Mab over here. Oh, why not? No, we are not here to help him. Ah, come on, you can just say it. I'm sure we've heard worse. Let's throw up another Astoma. Don't need any more Light Toma at this point. Actually, it's pretty nice that we're already at New Kagatsuchi. I better just make sure I heal real quick. Just in case we get into something nasty. I actually did get ambushed by a bunch of Loas. Oh, this is like the opposite of nasty, actually. Whatever, these guys are just... These guys are going to be just smeared on my boots. First, we're going to provoke them. And then just a Bolt Storm to win the day. Should I use a Chakra Drop? I probably would be Ismarai. I've gotten a few extras, so it's not a huge deal if it's wasteful. Just in case. A little bit of insurance. That was not actually necessary. I ran into a bunch of Shiki Ojis, and Magma Axis obviously does not use any MP, so it was not a big deal. Man, so many Eligors under Hikawa's command. Yep, we gotta see that. Whose protection? Ominous. Now there is one more mystical chest for us to grab before we head out of this area, and it is right here. And this one actually has something worthwhile, so give me a second. Alright, so in this chest we have a Vitality Incense. Very nice. I'll never say no to more points of Vitality. Could always use a little extra HP. Sadly, 6 HP at this point, really not going to save you in most situations, but it's still something. Yeah, Vitality is probably the biggest victim of diminishing returns for stats in this game. It is absurdly useful in the early game to put a ton of points to Vitality just to make yourself that much more durable, but by this point in the game, it's basically a waste of a level to put a point into it. I guess it'll make skills like, I don't know, not Heat Wave, that skill's always terrible, but maybe like Blight will make it stronger. I'm rambling. Anyways, we're in the Diet Building, and we've got quite a bit to do in here. Well, I want to be there to see it. You can't tell me what to do. That god can't stop me, because I'm not gonna listen. But we are going to call it a video here, since we've done quite a bit. We finished off the Yurakucho Tunnel, a bit more sizable than the Asakusa tunnels, but still not quite the same as the Ikebukuro tunnels. So it's like, you know, the middle ground, which is funny, since it's the last one you do. You'd think it would be like, first you do the Asakusa to dip your toes, then you do Yurakucho for something a little more comprehensive, or perhaps a little bit more difficult. Then you do Ikebukuro to really challenge yourself, but no, they decided to do the hardest one first. But that's neither here nor there. We are done with this video. When we come back, we will be exploring the Diet Building and coming across the various demons who will very foolishly decide to get in our way. Should be fun. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you then. Until then, though, goodbye.